I married a handsome stranger from abroad, and he ruined my life. I want to share something very personal, something I never thought I'd go through, but I know there are others out there who might be walking into the same mistake I did, blindly, with nothing but love and hope in their hearts. I'm a girl from the UK, born and raised in a good family, with strong values. I was taught to look for a good husband, someone respectful, loyal, family-oriented. That's all I ever wanted. Then one year, during a trip abroad to visit extended family, I met someone. He was charming, so well-spoken, handsome in a way that made everyone stare. He made me feel special, like I finally mattered. It all happened quickly. He proposed soon after we met, and my family was impressed with his manners and looks. Everyone said I was lucky, so I said yes. I had no idea I was marrying a mask. After we got married and I brought him back to the UK, everything changed. The man I thought I knew, he just vanished. He started controlling everything I did, told me not to wear makeup, told me to cut off friends, told me to quit my part-time job. At first I thought it was just cultural difference or love taken too far, but soon I realized it was something darker. He didn't want a wife, he wanted a visa and someone to fund his life. He didn't work, he didn't try. He started borrowing money from me, from my family, lying constantly. The worst moment was when I found messages on his phone, romantic messages to other girls, begging for money, playing with their emotions, just like he played with mine. When I confronted him, he turned it around, blamed me, humiliated me, even threatened me with personal things only he knew. I felt helpless, trapped. I started losing myself, smiling less, crying more. I didn't recognize who I was anymore. Eventually I left. It wasn't easy. People asked questions, some blamed me, but I had to save myself. I had to break free from the emotional cage I was in. Now I'm telling this story because someone else out there might be where I was, falling for charm, ignoring red flags, and believing that love means sacrifice. Please don't ignore your gut. Don't silence your voice. I married a con man, but I found my way back, and now I live for truth. After I divorced him, the charming man who turned out to be nothing more than a con, I walked away with nothing but my name. No children, no home, no direction, just me. For a while I was completely lost. I would sit in silence and wonder, how did I get here? People around me whispered, some with sympathy, some with judgment, but none of them knew what it felt like to be used, lied to, and discarded. But I was done with asking why me. Instead I asked what now, and that's when something inside me shifted. I looked in the mirror one day and said, this isn't how your story ends. You've already survived the worst, now it's time to build the best. That day I signed up to go back into education. It had been years. I was older than most of the students. My self-esteem was low, my confidence was shattered. I remember walking into class and feeling like an outsider. I questioned myself every step of the way. Am I smart enough? Will I fit in? Am I too late? But you know what? I didn't stop. I kept going, even when it was hard, even when I failed, because yes, I failed a few exams at the start. I cried in the bathroom, I almost quit, but then I remembered what I'd already survived, and I told myself, you didn't come this far just to give up now. So I studied harder, I asked questions, I stayed up late, I pushed past fear, failure and fatigue, and slowly I started to believe in myself again. I wasn't just learning from books, I was learning who I really was. I wasn't the broken girl anymore. I was a woman with a purpose, with a goal, with a future. After years of hard work, setbacks, long nights and silent tears, I finally graduated. I became a doctor, not just a title, not just a career. It was a symbol of everything I had fought for, everything I had earned. No one handed it to me. I built it with my own strength. And then, just when I thought my story had already peaked, life surprised me again. I met someone, not just anyone, a fellow doctor. He was kind, quiet, observant, the type of man who noticed the little things, like when I looked tired, or when I hadn't eaten all day. He didn't try to impress me with big talk. He impressed me with his patience, his presence, and his gentle way of making me feel safe. At first I was guarded. Who wouldn't be? After everything I'd been through, I had walls, thick ones, but he didn't try to knock them down. He waited outside them patiently. He saw me, the real me, and never once made me feel ashamed of my past. I opened up to him about the lies, the betrayal, the pain. He didn't flinch, he just listened. Then he said something I'll never forget. You didn't just survive, you transformed. That's strength, and it's beautiful. That's when I knew this was different. No more lies, no more manipulation, no more pretending. Just love, the quiet, steady kind that builds rather than breaks. Today I'm not just a survivor. I'm a woman who rewrote her story. I became a doctor. I found peace. And I met someone who loves me for the woman I am, not the wounds I carry. If you're watching this and feel like you've lost too much, wasted too many years, or missed your chance, I'm here to tell you, you haven't. You are not too late. You are not too broken. And you are not alone. Sometimes the greatest chapters of our lives begin after the worst endings. Sometimes the love we truly deserve only finds us when we finally learn to love ourselves first. I didn't need saving. I needed healing. And now, I have both.